this mic on. Episode 155, What's Wrong with Orny Adams? Let me start with this. This crap. And I know I'm not alone, but why this has been allowed to go on for 75 years is beyond me. I'm talking about Saran Wrap, okay? This Saran Wrap, and it could be, this is Glad, but it could be any brand. It all does this. It never ends well. Nobody, I'd like to meet any person in the 75 years that this product has been out that has made it to the tube. Nobody gets to the tube. Nobody. This inevitably happens, and then you give up, which is what they want you to do. They want you to give up and go buy another one, which is what I do. I mean, there's a good, how many yards is this box? This is 300 square feet. This looks like about 75 square feet that I'm throwing out because it's impossible. This always happens. Now, does this happen with tinfoil? Sometimes there's a little bit, but you can recover.
Yes.
You can recover. This is a death spiral of Saran Wrap.
I think it just requires a little patience.
Okay, do you want to take this home and figure this out?
I do. I love it. I love it.
That's your project.
I'll be back.
Okay, you let me know if you make it to the tube. My guest today is Jim Clemente. I don't think he's, look, you're going to spend the whole podcast doing that?
Yeah, if I must.
Okay, go for it. Have fun. Episode 155, What's Wrong with Orny Adams? My guest today, former FBI profiler Jim Clemente, and now master of Saran Wrap.
Saran Wrap.
Saran Wrap.
Unwrapper.
Saran Wrap is named after a combination of names, Sarah and Ann, the wife and daughter of John Riley, who was involved in the development of the product at Dow Chemical. The wrap, which sucks. Oh, did you Jim fixed the Saran Wrap in about
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Wow, how did you do that? Well, we have it on tape, so we can review it. I already bought a new one. Well, now, what's it supposed to do? Is it supposed to cling to the outside here?
Yes, it is.
But couldn't they make this easier?
They could.
75 years this has been around. The wrap part simply refers to its function as a wrapping material. Initially, it was thin plastic film made of polyvinylidene chloride, which is probably in all of our bloods now. It was initially used by the military to protect equipment from salty sea spray. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Well, that's why our military spent half the year trying to, unravel the thing off of the tube. How did you do that? How did you do that?
I'm just that kind of guy.
It was introduced in 1949 as a clingy wrap for food, and I don't even want to see it. It puts me in a bad mood, this. But you did it. Jim Clemente, former FBI profiler.
And Saran Wrap Unwrapper.
Yes. And
I can add that to my bottom third, my lower third there.
Victim of a fox bite. I like that. To me, that's your biggest credit. Welcome back.
A rabid fox bite.
Jim, I have 11 pages of notes today. So no meandering, no mucking around.
Somebody out there help me.
Take this seriously today. Okay, I don't need you no pontificating.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just get to the point. 11 pages of notes. I mean, we're already over. We're already at 5 minutes. We haven't even barely said anything.
Let's go to page 2 then.
Let's go to page 2. On this episode, just so you know, I will be discussing with my good friend Jim 2 documentaries, one that involves a pervert and one that involves another pervert. One pervert cut off the penises of his victims, and the other pervert murdered his Tinder date.
Okay.
Now, before we get going, here's an update from episode 154. The exterminator still has not shown up. I've not heard from the exterminator. It's all under my thesis that nobody wants to work.
Okay.
Nobody does anything. This guy gets paid to show up. He didn't even show up, didn't call. Usually he has an excuse. One time a tree fell on his house.
Oh, well,
Picture looked kind of old to me.
I wonder if a beaver did that because he, tried to exterminate beavers or something.
No, the beavers aren't taking revenge on city folk, but it's a good...
just wondered.
Good theory, but thank you for reminding me at the end of the episode, I will have an otter update. You know, I'm one of the
I
biggest spokespeople for otter.
Anti-otter.
Yeah, safety, and you know, these aren't so cute little things on their back, but I'll get into that at the end. On a serious note, I want to wish everybody in Reduso, or I know I'm saying it incorrectly, New Mexico, where I just performed, they just had a flash flood.
Oh. Wow.
And that town I was in, which was so cute, I made 2 videos.
I remember that.
Yeah, mispronouncing the name, sort of by accident, and then the second one I did it on purpose just to troll them even more. And these people furious at me, hundreds of thousands of views, people telling me I'm saying it wrong. No kidding. But you would never know when I was in that downtown area.
Really?
That this could be a flash flood. You're up in the mountains. You're at 7,500 feet.
That's so weird. How could you have flash floods at 7,500 feet?
I don't know. It's a ski town run by the Native Americans.
So how high is the ski lift?
The ski slope, it's 12,000 feet up there.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why. Yeah, so all that snow up there,
yeah,
when it melts.
Oh, here's the tragedy. They had fires similar to us in Los Angeles about a year or 2 ago. Lost a lot of homes, and because there's no vegetation, that causes the flash floods and the mudslides, and it comes down to global warming.
Okay.
Which we will discuss later in the episode. Another consequence of global warming.
Okay. It seems like we're getting way ahead of ourselves, though.
We've so much going on.
All sorts of weird things so far. So I don't know how you're going to tie them together, Orny, but you managed to, I guess.
I always do. I always bring it together. Also, I am on tour July 11th and 12th. Orny Adams, that's this weekend. If you're listening to the audio, the video will be out on Thursday. July 11th, 12th, I'll be in Vegas at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. July 19th, I'll be back here at Burbank, Flappers Comedy Club. That's a Saturday night. August 22, 23, I'll be in Portland, Maine.
Wow.
At the Empire Comedy Club. September 13th, Solvang, California. Wow. I'm Solvang. I bet this podcast is about me.
You. We need Mick Jagger to do the backup vocal.
Yeah, that's right. You know that, huh?
Yeah.
Who do you think it was?
Who do I think it was? It was
who's she singing about?
She's singing about the guy, the actor who
Warren Beatty?
Warren Beatty, yeah.
It's crazy. Well, did he own horses? And did
I don't know, but he definitely had a scarf, that he threw around his neck.
What a dick move. September 13th, Solvang, California at the Theater Fest. Tickets for all these are on sale. You can go to ornyadams.com /tour for all the links and stuff like that. Jim Clemente, what's up with you, buddy?
Well, I don't know. I was just wondering, you're going to Vegas this weekend. It's like 108, 110 degrees there. Do you ever go outside while you're in Vegas?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not this weekend. It's not safe. I mean, I will go outside to get to the venue, but besides that, I mean, like, it's anything over like 103, you can die.
Oh, well, yeah.
You can die.
I know. It's crazy, but some people love that stuff. They can just survive it. I don't know. Really,
one time I was doing a show in Arizona, and I didn't grow up around this kind of heat. It's a dry heat.
Yeah.
And you don't really feel it when you first go outside. Where we grew up,
right?
You
feel
East
it
Coast.
When it's 85.
Yeah, you feel there's something called a dew point. They invented something called a dew point to say, hey, it's 85, but it feels like 120. But you don't feel it. So I went outside. I landed in Arizona. I was playing. I don't know where I was playing, but I decided to leave the hotel and try and walk downtown to get coffee to get revved up for the show. And I'm walking, and a guy stopped. I didn't have water. This is before you walked around with water bottles all the time. Right. And a guy stopped, and he said, what are you doing out here? It's not safe. This has happened to me a few times in my life. Yeah. And I said, I'm just walking downtown. He said, hop in. I'll give you a lift. And the guy
was a serial killer.
Might have been. I looked. He was very nice.
Oh, well, they all are at the beginning.
But I glanced into the back seat, and on the floor,
there was a
trove of guns. Not 3, not 4, not 5. I would say 10 guns. Long guns, short guns, and
definitely serial killer kind of guy, huh?
Hey, you got to protect yourself there in that Arizona.
I don't know if you need 12 guns to do that, but the point is, outside when it's really hot, it can
don't get in the car with a serial killer.
Well, try not to. I mean, it's easier to get rid of your body when it's that hot, because it decomposes a lot faster.
Why would somebody need that many guns?
I don't know, either insecurity or, they just want to make a point, or they're serial killers.
Yeah. But would you leave them out in the open? Like there was no tarp over it. It was very clear.
He was trying to threaten you. He wanted you to
No, he was
look.
a nice guy. Gave me a nice ride and
I
everything.
know, a nice ride.
Nice guy.
Yeah, right.
Do you know, I went undercover last week. I was going to talk about this at the... Oh, you don't know this?
No.
Oh, I went undercover.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. I went to an area downtown where all the prostitutes are.
Oh.
As part of sort of research for a project I might be
did?
working on.
Really?
Figueroa Street.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. With
For a project you might be working on?
Well, I was with the Fuzz.
Oh, you were.
I was undercover. And Jim, I felt a little unsafe. But I go, boys, hands on guns at all time. I mean, is it? I wanted.
Why did you need to go undercover?
I'm not going to discuss the project.
Oh, you're not.
No,
Okay.
you and I are men of the law.
Oh, we are.
We can't discuss what we're involved in. This is. I figured you, if
It's
anybody,
an ongoing project. I
can't
thought it was done. Yeah.
can't say anything.
Well,
but
you did mention that you went undercover and where you went undercover.
I wanted, because I'm not going back, I wanted the guy to drive with his holding the gun and the steering wheel. Like I was like,
Well, that's good. So if he had to suddenly stop, he could shoot you.
I don't know the safety. I'm not familiar with gun etiquette, but
Yeah.
you know, but there is a place called Figueroa Street,
Yes, there is.
downtown Los Angeles, and in 19, that's how old I am. Well, prostitution, this is from the New York Post, remains illegal. A significant change in 2022, the passage of Bill 357, also known as the Safer Streets for All Act. The law effectively decriminalized loitering with the intent to commit prostitution, meaning police can no longer arrest individuals solely for loitering with the purpose of engaging in prostitution.
Wait, could you read that first part about who they're protecting?
They're protecting the prostitutes.
I know, but what does it say?
I just read it to you.
No, at the beginning part.
It said significant change in 2022, passage of 357, also known as Safer Streets for All Act.
Safer Streets for All. So how do prostitutes walking around making money for pimps, how does that make the streets safer for all?
I don't know.
That's friggin' ignorant. It's ridiculous.
That's Newsom. You tell me.
Oh, Lord.
While prostitution remains illegal, this change aims to reduce the disproportionate targeting of vulnerable populations and improve public safety. Let the prostitutes be safe. That's what they're saying.
It doesn't improve public safety. It makes it worse. Whenever you have a situation where people can be exploited, for example, by pimps, by Johns, that's not safer for them.
I agree. They're victims.
This is ridiculous.
Do you see those prostitutes as victims?
Yeah, they're definitely victims.
There were.
Yeah, and if you go back in their history, they've probably been victimized for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, a lot of them are hooked on drugs by their pimps, by their significant others.
I saw really young people.
Oh,
like this is in broad daylight. We were there like at 2 p.m. and like this says, inside LA's bravest sex market where women sell themselves in broad daylight. They're emboldened by California's new law. It's a 40-block area on Figueroa Boulevard in South LA. And you see hundreds of prostitutes, some barely out of their teens, plying their trade since Governor Gavin Newsom passed the controversial Safer Streets for All Act.
You're an idiot. Not you, Governor Newsom.
I thought you were calling me an idiot.
No.
Yeah.
Newsom is.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
It used to happen at night, now in broad daylight. It's unbelievable.
All it's doing is increasing the market for sex trafficking.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what
how is that safer streets?
I don't know.
Well, whenever you start talking about, it is affecting a marginalized community, it sounds like they're trying to bend over backwards so that they're protecting marginalized communities.
Yeah.
When in fact, all this does, it allows people to exploit those marginalized communities, which makes them less safe, which actually undermines the whole meaning of the law.
So what was Newsom thinking when he passed this?
Like I said, he's just thinking on the surface. It looks good because I'm protecting marginalized communities.
But how is allowing prostitutes to be there without being arrested protecting them? It just
because they're not getting locked up and they don't have to get thrown in jail. They don't have to pay bail,
Right.
And they get to keep working for their pimps.
Mm.
It's just so ridiculous.
So it's all part of this. Let's prevent a group of people that have tend to be arrested over and over again from being arrested.
Right.
And that's safer streets. Meanwhile, you see kids walking around with their abuelas, grandmothers, Spanish. I learned some Spanish on the trip.
Abuelas.
Yeah. Well,
Abuelas.
could you not correct me? It's my podcast.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
I forgot.
Thank you. They're abuelos. And no, I saw
They're umbrellas?
Yeah, I saw the umbrellas with their niños.
You got that one right.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Saw a lot of niños and stuff like that. And yeah.
Okay. Wow. We're really rocking and rolling today.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm on fire. I told you I have 11 pages.
I know. We're already through a few of them.
A few of them.
I love these green check marks. Does that mean I got something right?
No, it should be red,
but
the
stars.
The red pen is hiding under the soundboard. You know, first of all, thank you to everyone that subscribes on my Patreon. A couple of new people this week already.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's always nice. But I do everything myself. I set the cameras up, the lighting, I edit.
You work hard, yeah.
Book the guest.
And you edit. You edit. Yeah.
And then it just disappears into the ether.
You know, why don't people sign up to my Patreon? Oh,
yes.
Because I'm not on Patreon anymore. I'm on Identify.
What is this Ponzi scheme?
It's an app. It's IDENTIFI. And yeah, you can listen to all my podcasts on Identify. And what's cool, though, about it is there's a lot of direct interaction where, you know, for Real Crime Profile and Best Case, Worst Case.
These are your podcasts.
Yes. We can do lives, and we can do Q&As, and we can do listener.
And how's that going? Do you like the platform?
Yeah, and it's also the video instead of just the audio. Because before this, I just did the audio.
Right.
And well, the video I did for Patreon, but we got off Patreon and did this because it's easier to.
Should I ditch Patreon?
Well, you know, you should look into it. I'll put you in touch with them if you'd like.
I think you tried to do. I think we spoke about this at one point. Yeah.
Okay.
And but I'm curious to know, because I don't find Patreon a great platform. I don't find it
very difficult to work with. And, and it's hard to. I find it hard to. There's no. I mean, you can do some kind of lives on it, but I don't know how to do it. I've never been able to do it.
And
but
even
Identify, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, and responding to like a direct message or a message under the video, it feels clunky.
There you go, clunky. I think it's the oldest platform in that space, and I think that's why it's still clunky.
Maybe they need to update it.
Maybe they do.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to jump to Identify. That would be cool.
Jim Clemente, Best Case, Worst Case, and Real Crime Profiler.
Yeah.
These are your...
You got it right.
I finally got it.
Right. I mean, I have to say, this is like the 57th time I've been on this podcast, and this is the first time Orny Adams has gotten it right.
It's not even in my notes. I've heard it so many times.
Look at that. You're just a brilliant guy, aren't you?
Well, the thing is, your podcast, one of them has millions of downloads. Like, you're the real deal.
Well, both of them have millions of downloads. One of them, I guess between the two of them, we're at over 1,000 episodes and 120 million downloads.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's amazing.
It is insane.
And so is Patreon converting at a high rate? Not Patreon, I'm sorry, Identifier.
Identify.
Identify.
With no Y at the end and I at the end.
That's Identify.
Okay.
It's Italian. It's plural. Identifo is the singular. Identify would be the plural.
There you go.
My Italian.
Now, I'm sorry for mispronouncing it.
Parlo Italiano.
Yeah, you do. And you also do this. Every time you drink, you go, cheers, and then you go like this, and then you drink.
That's from when I studied abroad in Italy.
In Italy.
But we were doing that in Germany at the Hofbrauhaus.
Well,
got so drunk we had no place to stay. We couldn't find a
so you
hostel.
Stayed all night in the opera house?
We actually had unlimited rides on the train. So
we
got on an overnight train.
That's exactly what I did when I went to Europe. Yeah, so it would be if a few nights we stayed at hostels. Me and my buddy from after we graduated college, we spent 45 days there. We had no hotel reservations. We had nothing. And we would literally look for an 8-hour train ride. And so we go to, Germany, to Italy, to wherever the hell we wanted to, bouncing around Europe, because it was free. Well, it was the Europass.
Europass, yeah. How old were you?
I don't know, 20, 20,
It was
21.
such a free time. Now you go away, you got to read all the reviews. You have to find the best hotel in town.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but it was great. It was like my best vacation ever. And, it was. I remember, and one time we found a boat. We got on a boat to Corfu, Greece.
I did that too, from Brindisi.
Yeah, from Brindisi,
South Italy. You took the boat. It was like a 24-hour boat. Could you afford the seats underneath?
No, we stayed on the top.
We've had the same life.
Yeah, we did.
And it was freezing.
And what year was this that you were there?
I was probably there in 91.
Okay, all right. I was there a decade before.
Yeah.
But man, Oh, you were freezing? We were boiling. It was really hot. It was super hot on the deck. But there was all the hostile kids were sitting on the deck at the front of the boat, and we're going up and down, and it's not freezing, it's boiling out. The deck was so hot. What? But it was great.
It was an all-nighter. Like, how long was that ride? 18 hours, 24 hours?
No. What are you talking about? No, the ship runs 24 hours. They go back and forth, but it's not that long.
No, this was...
It's the Adriatic Sea.
No, this was over... Ours was overnight.
All right, well, you were going really slow on a tugboat then.
No, people were sleeping. You had to make an excuse to go downstairs to use the bathroom to warm up.
All right,
it was so
you took
cold.
The long road.
There was a couple that had wine. They shared wine. It was the only time in my life I drank wine
as water
to warm up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was freezing. We had no blankets.
Of course, you should know though that any alcohol is going to restrict your blood vessels.
I don't need a talking to right now. I don't need to be mansplained to. I kept strict journals in those days.
Did you?
I'd like to go back and find out how long that trip was.
That is, because I took it from Brindisi. Very good. I think I took that straight to the mainland of Greece, and then took a train across to Athens, and then later got on another boat to Corfu. I think you probably went all the way around to Corfu.
Did they have probably. And did they have the Pink Palace back then?
I don't remember that.
It was a party.
Oh, really?
And they would break plates over there. The Greece is fun. And you'd have, what was the alcohol? It was like grain alcohol. We would drink and have fun. I traveled with my buddies. Best time of my life.
Yeah. So did you go to Pelikas Beach?
No.
Oh. Well.
We did Corfu, Santorini.
Yeah, but in Corfu,
there
was this beach. It had one of those switchback roads going down to it. We rented mopeds. But this beach turned out to be clothing optional.
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting.
Yeah, I would say so.
There was a lot of college students there, and a lot of.
Did you go naked?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, what was crazy is at night we were sleeping on the beach, right? But we just got those little straw mats kind of thing. You roll them out, and then you had to like put on shorts to go to the clubs at night. It was crazy. So you had to get dressed up.
You couldn't do that nowadays because people would videotape, people would take pictures. There's no freedom anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we got on a boat and went to another country without even a place to stay.
Right.
And then you get there and you'd say, do you have rooms? Now, they would give you a fair rate. You didn't think, well, I'm going to go online and see if I can get a better rate.
Right.
Or I'm going to see if there's another hotel. Like, it's just, it was so free.
We barely ever got any rooms. We just got on trains and went.
Yeah.
Wow. So should we go back to our 11 pages?
Yeah, let's go back, Jim. Thank you for that. Jim, with millions of downloads on his podcast, knows when mine is how to direct my podcast.
Well, I'm trying to help.
Gotta keep it going. We have a verdict in the Diddy trial. How do you feel about this?
Well, we have multiple verdicts, right? We have some where they found them guilty, 2, and 3 where they found them not guilty.
Yeah.
And it's weird because the day before the verdicts were announced, the jury apparently had said that they had some verdicts, but other counts, they were hopelessly deadlocked, that there were people who were intransigent. That means they will not change, they will not discuss. So they thought they were going to be deadlocked. And then the next day, they came out and said, we had verdicts on all the counts. So the most serious counts, they found them not guilty. I mean, the RICO and the racketeering stuff. I mean, it's unfortunate because, and I think the jury was heavily influenced by the fact that there were inconsistent text by the victims. But I think that's comes from a lack of understanding of what it's like to be coercively controlled, what it's like to be living in fear, to be physically beaten and thrown around. Sometimes what you have to do is pretend and go along to try to survive. And the lack of understanding of that means that guys like Diddy will get away with it again and again and again. And that's disgusting.
Did the prosecution overcharge?
I don't know if they overcharged or they were unable to prove it or they didn't. I don't know because I didn't watch the whole trial, but I don't know if they put on an expert who was good at explaining to the jury what actually happens in these domestic violence situations. I mean, there's plenty of proof that these girls were beaten by him and were controlled by him.
So why wasn't that a charge, the physical abuse?
It was, but, well, these are federal charges that they have to be federal.
So he can't be pardoned on a federal charge?
Well, it's not pardoned. Yeah, he can be pardoned.
I'm just saying if, like, the president wanted to, you can't be pardoned on federal charges, I believe.
Sure you can. You can be pardoned on any charges. Yeah, but what could have happened was they could have also charged him in the state, and they still can. They can actually charge him for the same crimes, but the state violations, and so they could go after him for the assaults if it's still within the statute of limitations.
That's not double jeopardy.
It's not double jeopardy because federal crimes are different than state crimes. It's not called double jeopardy in the United States if you get charged in both jurisdictions. But I think the state statute of limitations is probably far expired, and that's probably why they went with federal RICO charges, because that was a conspiracy that continued. So the statute of limitations hadn't run.
Wow. You know what I keep hearing is, which I understand, is that this is going to dissuade victims from coming forward.
Of course. Do you know how much it took? And a couple of them didn't even want to use their names. And the judge had to order that no photographs, no drawings of those victims could be made. And they were so afraid of repercussions. Why? Because they've suffered them in the past.
Right.
And if you let the guy go, it's so hard in this country to convict a celebrity. And even if they do disgusting things, and we'll see. I heard the prosecutor supposedly made an announcement that he's going to go for 4 years for sentencing. 4 years, the maximum is 10. I don't understand why the prosecutor wouldn't go for 2 consecutive sentences of 10 years.
I have another thought in my head. I hope it comes out okay.
All right, well, we'll see.
Because I want to encourage all victims to come forward, even if this is the result. And I'll tell you why. Because if none of this had come to life or surface or light or whatever you want to say, I would know that Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever name he is, was this horrible of a person. So because of this, there is that sentence that people like me have now convicted him in our heads. Just even, all I need to see is that video of him beating Cassie, is that her name?
Yeah.
In the elevator in that hotel. That's all you need to see. Yeah. This is a horrible person. So,
well, it goes back.
So it creates awareness. If victims come forward, and even if, so it isn't a wash. It isn't, he's going to get out in 4 years, which is wrong. But, he'll never regain what he once had.
I hope so.
100%.
I hope you're right. And look, back in the early days, I don't know if he was Puff Daddy or P. Diddy at the time, whatever. I remember back in 97, I believe it was, I was working with the MPD, the Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C.
I wish you'd let me guess what MPD stood for. I wish we had made that a contest.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's too late now.
Okay, but in Washington,
D.C. Say it again.
D.C.
I'll edit it. Go ahead.
Okay. I was working on a task force with the MPD, and...
Hold on. Is that... let me guess. Metropolitan Police Department?
Very good. Very good. Look at that. You're amazing. So, MPD, FBI task force in Washington, D.C., and one of the homicide investigators that I was working with I noticed on his desk, on his little side wall of his desk, there was a picture of P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. And it was an arrest photo.
Wow.
And I was like, what was that for? And he said, oh.
Shot somebody in a nightclub.
No, this was way before then.
Oh.
He pulled the gun on another student at Howard University. And, you know, that just tells you something, right? I mean, from his college age, he was doing this stuff.
Right.
He was trying to be a thug and actually accomplishing it. And it's just, to me, it's disgusting. I just wish that people would stop rushing to his aid and rush to the aid of the victims that he took advantage of and will likely, when he gets out, continue to take advantage of.
So we're going to have more freak-offs.
Well, I'm positive that he's going to try to do as much as he can.
You got to load up on baby oil now, because he's going to take it all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For that advice.
That's my advice to all my listeners is he could be out in 4 years. Get your baby oil now before it's all gone again.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah. Jim Clemente, can you discuss this?
What?
You served on a jury.
I did serve on a jury. I could discuss part of it, but you know.
So help me understand, what is the mind process of, because you had somebody, people were kicked out of the jury. Like,
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Got contentious.
Yeah, it did get contentious. I was on a murder trial in Los Angeles, and I was shocked that they picked me. Just shocked.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have to disclose everything. And there's all these questions on this.
I was bit by a fox.
That wasn't one of them. Sorry.
I had rabies. Anybody on the jury have rabies? Was that on the questionnaire?
You know, it wasn't, Orny.
Yeah.
I'll suggest that next time.
Yeah.
But I'm there, and, you know, it says, do you know any cops? Have you ever interacted with cops? Have you ever been involved in a case? Have you ever been involved in a criminal trial, in a civil trial?
Yeah.
All these things.
Right.
And, you know, my answers were like 400 pages long.
Right.
But there's not enough room for them. So then they go around, they start asking you. And I said, you know, the first question is, what are your profession?
Right.
What's your profession? And I said, I'm a former New York City prosecutor. I'm a retired FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an expert witness. And I'm a podcaster and producer and writer. And the judge is like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it goes on and on. They start out, well, all right, do you know any cops? Yeah, I know cops. I mean, several thousand, maybe tens of thousands. I've taught 60,000 cops in my career. You know, where do you want me to start? You know, all right, what about prosecutors? Yes, okay. I'm doing a podcast with one prosecutor. I know all these other prosecutors. I got lots of friends.
You work for the prosecutor in New York.
I was, yeah. And so, you know, anyway, so eventually they just got sick of it. And they just said, all right, let's go on to the next person.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't even get through a fraction of what I could have told them about, but they got the picture, right?
Hold on a second. For my viewers and listeners, what Jim Clemente is describing is the voir dire process of a criminal trial.
Look at that. The jury voir dire. Yes.
The jury
look
voir
at that.
dire.
Look at him. And he even said it right.
Voir dire.
Not voir dire, like they said.
No, I know how to say it. Yeah, when I'm ordering French wine, that's what I say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 89 voir dire.
Anyway, so I was getting ready when they started calling the numbers of the people who got booted. Got my stuff together. I turned to the woman on the jury next to me, and I said, hey, listen, when this is over, here's my number. Can you call me and let me know how this turns out?
Oh, you thought you were that certain?
Yeah, I was that certain. Yeah. I was getting ready to get up and go, and they went boom, boom. People dropped on either side of me, but they skipped over me, and I was like, oh. And then they put new people in those seats, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm still here. Can't you see me?
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And then all of a sudden, the trial starts.
That's nuts.
And I'm like, I'm on this jury. And here's the thing.
Is that your first time?
Yeah, of course. I've been in jury duty dozens of times in my life and always wanted to be on a jury ever since I saw the movie 12 Angry Men. In fact, I wanted to write the sequel to it called 12 Angrier People because, you know, now juries are men and women. Back then in the 50s.
Yeah, I mean, you're like trying to pick them up, handing out your number. Like, hey, sweetheart. Hey, sweetheart, keep me updated.
That's right. I was actually looking for that. But I was looking to get updated, that's all. But the
By the
point
way,
is,
I'm doing a freak off later too.
Yeah,
Once we get a verdict.
So, but the point is that I was shocked to find out that they would keep me on the jury, and I was elated because I've been involved in the criminal justice system, in very many capacities, but never on the jury. So this was a first for me, and it was interesting. It was over 3 months the trial took, and deliberations were very interesting because, you know, they picked me as the foreperson, and
of course, I mean,
the second they picked me, one of the guys
got pissed
on the jury said, just because you're the foreperson doesn't make you the boss. And I just,
that guy's not coming to the freak off.
Blinked a couple of times, and I'm like, first of all, I said nothing to elicit this kind of response, and secondly, we're just going by what it says here in the jury instructions. And it just went downhill from there until he was eventually booted off the jury by the judge. And, you know, but we had a lot of really very, very careful, thoughtful people on the jury. We had people who really, really wanted to make sure that justice happened. And I think we had some people who were a little less concerned about that and a little more concerned about expediency.
They just want it out.
Yeah.
This started in December.
Well, no, it started earlier.
This trial started in
October. It was like November through January, right? Or October through January.
It just kept going, and it hit every holiday.
It did. We hit a whole bunch of holidays, but anyway, it was really interesting. I'm glad I did it, and who knows, I might write something about it one day.
Really?
Yeah.
So you get jury logic now. You get why, and from what I understand, I've never served. I've been paneled one time.
Really?
Took till like round 3 to boot me. I don't know what took so long because I was a little bit flippant. I was really questioning.
I've heard about that from you before.
Yeah,
yes.
I really, in a smart way that the judge was impressed, I deconstructed the defense attorney's analysis of circumstantial evidence, which I go back and forth with my father. My father's a big circumstantial, you know, because he grew up before CSI and DNA.
Well, circumstantial evidence is incredibly important.
Yeah, I don't take it as seriously.
Well, if you don't want to have a society in which we have cameras on every single corner, in every single room, in every single house, in every single building, then you got to let circumstantial evidence in, or you're going to have a lot more serial killers out there.
It's interesting because we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Really?
CCTV, that's a great transition. I wish you'd let me finish one other thought before we got into that.
Well, go ahead.
I just want to say that I don't think I disclosed that I was a stand-up comedian. I tend not to tell people. I say I'm in the entertainment business, but the judge, when I got dismissed, I was juror number 1. Juror number 1, you're dismissed.
You can go home.
Yeah, and I walked down the aisle, and the judge, when I ripped this defense attorney apart, like in a way that like was fair. It was like logical, and he was all cocky. He was like strutting around like on LA Law or something. I didn't like his attitude. Daddy had to bring him down a notch, so I did. And when I walked out, the judge said, where's your next show? And I didn't even look back because I thought they'd bring me back. So I just kept going. I said, my tour schedule's online. And so he must have been fascinated enough or interested enough
or entertained enough.
But
he was like, this guy, I got to see him in person.
Yeah. So Jim, do we want to live in a society where there are cameras everywhere?
Well, I think that, like I said, it's a balance. If people are going to credit circumstantial evidence, we probably need less of that. But if they're not, if juries are going to just let people go, even when you have a video of somebody slamming a girl to the ground, kicking her repeatedly, dragging her by her hair, if we have videos of that and we still say, well, there's a text here that seems to be inconsistent with that, so I'm not going to convict them of that particular charge. I don't know.
What happened to the good old days when cops would make up evidence. They'd plant stuff. I mean, like, there should be like a makeup call.
Orny, that's TV. That's entertainment.
No.
In the real world, that's a crime.
No.
In the
Like
real world, that puts cops in jail.
Yeah, but it's putting a criminal in jail. Hear me out, Jim.
But it's supposed to put cops in jail if they do any of that. Yeah, it's absolutely wrong. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about.
You'll never get me to agree to that.
In the NBA, oh, wait, give it 2 minutes.
The NBA?
National Basketball Association.
Okay, all right.
Sometimes the refs get it wrong, and they make a call wrong, and then they do something a few calls later called a makeup call, where they do a bad call for the other team to even it out. And, you know, you see that video.
Sure it isn't because the refs are betting on the damn outcome of the game?
Jim, I will not endorse that. That is wrong.
It's
People go to jail for that.
I know.
Yeah.
And cops go to jail for doing what you said.
I'm just saying, sometimes you got to look the other way. You got to put bad people away.
You can't do that.
No, listen, what did they get Al Capone for?
For IRS violations.
Right. What did they really want to get him for?
For murder.
That's right.
Bank robberies.
Time to get these people for whatever you can get them for.
Right. Legitimately.
Were you happy with the verdict or the outcome of the trial you served as a juror on?
Oof. Well, we hung on one of the major charges, and I believe it was because one of the people was not actually looking at the evidence, but looking at more at circumstances. But I do believe, because of what he was convicted of, and because, as we learned after the trial, because guess what, Orny?
What?
After we finished and we got the verdicts in and all that was read, the judge said, could you just wait in there for a minute? We'll call you right back out. So we go back in, we're all saying our goodbyes, putting our stuff together. We go back out, we sit down, and the judge says, okay, now we start the second trial.
What do you mean?
They had a second trial with the same defendant.
I didn't. You never told me this.
I know. Well, I'm telling you now. They had a second trial.
When did you have the first verdict? When was that in?
Well, let me just explain what happened. It turns out that the charge that he was convicted of actually had ramifications beyond just that charge, because, as they informed us at that point in the trial, he had had 2 other convictions similar to that, and this would have been a third strike. So we had like a third strike type trial to see if these exacerbating circumstances existed in the case that we had already tried. And they didn't want to give us all those details because it would have prejudiced the jury against the defendant.
I got news for you. Sometimes I think the jury should be prejudiced.
Well, I do too. But anyway, in this case, then we had a very short hearing, just a few days, and then we went back and deliberated, and he was actually ultimately convicted of that. So in the end, I believe that was a serious enough charge that carried a penalty of 25 to life. And so in the end, I do believe that justice was done. However, I also believe that it's possible that he gets retried on the one count that we hung on.
Oh.
Because that is not a completed trial. It's not double jeopardy. If the jury hangs on a count, they can declare a mistrial, and they can try him again on that.
Is his sentence for life? How long will the sentence be? Do you know what he was sentenced to?
I don't know.
Can you find out?
Yeah, I can. But what I'm saying is they may not have had that next trial yet.
Okay.
So
okay.
They'd probably hold off on the sentencing till then.
Okay. Really? You think so?
I would think so.
They can't just leave the guy. They have to sentence him for these already, and then...
No, they can hold him. If he's charged again, they can hold him on the new charge and not sentence him on the first charge.
Wow. So I called Jim Clemente, my guest.
I called
Jim. I go, I just saw the greatest real crime documentary ever. I've since rewatched half of it.
Really?
And I stand by this. This documentary is called The Lie, The Murder of Gracie Millane.
Yeah.
It's a 92-minute documentary by British filmmaker Helena Cohn, Coan, exploring the murder of British tourist Gracie Millane in Auckland, New Zealand in 2018. And they have almost the entire circumstance. I don't want to give away too much on tape, on CCTV.
Right. But, and I think it's really important, the slime bag who did this, he was really, what was amazing is you got to see his behavior.
Yes.
Before, during, and after. You got to see how depraved he is. And unfortunately, for the victim, you got a good sense of what happened.
Yeah. So let me set it up. 22-year-old Gracie Millane from Britain is on vacation in Auckland, New Zealand.
She's just doing a one-woman backpacking tour of the world.
Much what we just discussed earlier,
exactly.
We did and weren't killed.
And we didn't have to worry about some asshole doing that.
So these two meet on Tinder. They meet up. Remarkably, they actually have the first time they met on tape. They're in a part of New Zealand which it has cameras everywhere.
Right.
They follow them from camera to camera to camera to camera. This guy claims that at some point in the night, they said goodbye and they parted ways. He went one way, she went the other way.
Right.
And that was the last they saw of him. And he went to bed and he woke up at like 10 a.m. or something like that.
Right.
And
that turns out not to be true.
That turns out not to be true. And my question for you is, because I'm telling you the guy's guilty. When they initially started to, and I should say the name of the guy who did the interrogating, because this guy...
He was great.
The greatest. This guy is the greatest. Scott Beard.
And you know why he was great? Because he was poised and confident and calm, and he built rapport, and he did not ever once raise his voice or get intense. He simply stated facts, and he simply listened.
And he knew the fact, and he didn't let on that he knew so much.
No.
So what happened was they had to gather all this footage, which must have taken so much time. Camera from different establishments, businesses, city cameras. Right. And they had to put together a timeline, which is a lot of work. And he knew what he knew, but we didn't know that at the time.
Right.
So they bring this kid in, this kid who got dressed up. Remember, he put on a suit, and he was very confident.
It's like he had a vest on, right?
He had a vest.
Maybe he took a jacket off.
Yeah. Did you think he was guilty from the start?
When he first was on there, I will say that he was very calm and poised and cooperative, and he did not present as somebody who was being evasive or that was really concerned about being there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, given the outcome, I did not believe he was guilty at the beginning.
Yeah, me either.
There wasn't enough information. There wasn't anything that really, in his behavior, that really telegraphed that he was guilty. Until a particular point, and I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but...
Oh, we sure are.
Okay, great.
That's why it's called The Lie.
Okay, great.
The documentary.
But I will say that if I were to spend a little more time, because I don't have all the information necessary about his life, I believe that he would rank very high on the psychopathy checklist. I believe that his ability to recover was demonstrated in how he just came into the police department, and he was calm, and he was dressed up, and he was very cooperative, and his post-offense behavior was... He described what he did afterwards in a way. I don't know if you want to give away what he said.
Yeah, this came out in like 2023 or 2024. Okay. We can talk about it. It's 2025 now.
So, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies. So, he describes that I think we should, rather than giving it away right now, but let me just say that his actual post-offense behavior was so calm, was so calculated.
So as a professional, what does that mean?
It reminded me of Jorn van der Sloot, who killed Natalie Holloway and another girl 5 years later on the anniversary.
Yeah.
And both times...
we all celebrate in different ways.
Right, well, both times he was able to recover immediately and develop, what he thought were good alibis and just think rationally. Anyone else who isn't a psychopath, who isn't one of these very, very off the charts, very bad people, they kill somebody, there's going to be an emotional, psychological, and physical reaction to it.
Right.
Not these guys. They're like, okay, that's done. What do I do next?
This is beyond lacking empathy.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Lacking empathy is one component of it, but it is 100% absolute self-interest and there's no connection to any other human being. And that is the lack of empathy. That's why it's one of the pillars of psychopathy.
Explain psychopathy.
Psychopathy.
I mean, I know what it means, but
yeah. Well, psychopathy it's the psychopathy checklist was developed by Dr. Robert Hare, who's on our board of trustees and advisors at the FBI's BAU in the National Center for the Analysis of Violent Crime.
You guys love acronyms.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, wow.
NCAVC stuff. So Dr. Hare was studying these people who were able to, he saw they were able to kill people without any ramifications. They were able to trick people, and they were able to, they always had this sort of high energy, charisma that attracted people and potential victims. So, he saw all these cases and he was like, let me really dive into this. And he was able to come up with a list of 20 characteristics that if you have these, that you are a psychopath, meaning that a lot of people use the term sociopath, antisocial personality disorder.
Yeah, why can't we come up with one?
Well, because that's a psychological diagnosis. And this is like a law enforcement term because most of the times, we don't get to do a diagnosis. We're doing indirect personality assessments of the behavior of these people. And if we can look at what their behavior is and put them on that psychopathy checklist, we can also predict behavior because we know how these guys act. There are some women psychopaths too, but...
Oh, I know.
I bet you do.
Can they pass a lie detector?
So, yeah, some of them can because they have no care or concern about anybody else.
I got to tell you about this other documentary I saw quickly as an insert. This is like bonus
This is an
footage.
insert documentary.
This should be in the Patreon. This shouldn't even go to the regular people. I'm going to write a screenplay about this. And maybe I'll ask you to co-write with me. So I'm pitching to you formally right now.
Oh, wow.
So what's fascinating is this.
Is this fascinating?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
This guy.
Already fascinating.
Canadian.
Oh.
Murdered. Okay.
All right.
It hasn't been solved. They have never found the body. He was an adventurer. He'd go off and do like Greenpeace. He'd go off and like build stuff in third world countries, if you can still call them that. And so it wouldn't be unlike him to sort of disappear for a while. Never found the body, but a person's family came forward and said, this person talked about killing that person 20, 25 years ago.
Wow.
Like in the 89-ish or something, whenever,
and
right?
When did he go disappearing?
Exactly at that time.
Oh, well, that's pretty good.
It was a fight over a girl, and
isn't it always?
He's like, I'm gonna show this guy, and he said I took care of him. They lived on a farm. This is like rural Canada, I believe, and maybe they put him in the pig feeding bin or whatever. Okay, right. So that
is a problem.
Here's where it gets unbelievable, and this is when it becomes a screenplay, and I can't believe nobody's done it yet, and I'm copywriting it right now.
Be careful.
At some point, this guy transitioned into a woman.
The offender.
The offender. So when the authorities and when the documentarian pleaded for years, 3 years, take a lie detector, finally got the person to take a lie detector, passed it. And somebody said, what you don't understand is that person no longer identifies
as the person who did it.
So,
oh, wow. That's pretty deep.
That person would never fail a lie detector because that person's not that person. And that's why that person transitioned, was to disassociate.
That's a
from
lot
the
to
past.
go through. Yeah.
Well, start thinking about how we write this up. Do you see the first break?
All right, well, let's write it up
break?
and we'll register with the Writers Guild today.
I think we can do it. I don't even know. Do we have to say based on a real or maybe inspired by? I don't want to give these people any money. No, I don't want to.
The bad guy?
Yeah, the bad guy or anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a fascinating documentary. But back to this, Jim.
Yes, back to this.
Back to this. So they follow the entire date.
Yeah, you could see it happening, and you could see she was into him, and they showed her texting her friend about, "Hey, I met this guy on Tinder, and oh man, I can't believe how we're clicking and vibing, and they're making out and stuff." But one really eerie thing happens.
What was the lie to you?
Well, the lie that I think the fundamental lie was that they had separated at that point when actually they continued on together. I think that was the first lie that broke down all of the rest of his.
Right. How could this guy not think in this day and age that these people are so arrogant? Yes. First of all, I tell everybody, if you're arrested for anything, shut up.
You tell them that.
Yeah, if I got arrested for something that I had no clue what they were talking about, I would say, I'm going to talk to an attorney.
Right, of course.
I would say, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to talk to an attorney. But these people, these or what are they, psychopaths?
Yeah.
Are so arrogant.
Well, yes, that's part of it. Part of it thinks they can talk their way out of it. And usually, the more they talk, the more they don't talk themselves out of it.
Yeah.
Right? But unfortunately, many of them can talk their way out of it because they are charismatic and they're just capable of being very convincing. And that's how they get their victims. And this guy, like the disgusting things that he did, but at one point it was very nefarious. She gets up to go to the restroom. What does he do?
This is so strange.
He reaches over, he grabs her purse, he opens it, he opens the wallet, he looks through it, zips it up and puts it on her chair.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Wasn't where
it was on the table.
Right.
Takes it off the table, goes through it, puts it on the chair.
Right.
She doesn't say anything.
And
I'd say that's a red flag on a date.
Well, yeah, I would too.
I would.
He's playing with her purse, but getting in her purse. But the point is that that was the first reveal that something was up here, that something was not right. And it's just horrible what happened after that. But when you realize that this guy so calmly, gets up the next morning, goes out to the store, buys a big suitcase that he can put her body in.
6 a.m.
Yeah. And casually walks in, casually walks out. And then literally keeps her in there, in his room.
She's dead at this point.
Yeah, for days.
Was it days?
Yeah, because he goes out on a date the next day.
But yeah, he goes out on another date. That woman,
while her body is in his room in a suitcase.
And that woman knew this guy was off.
Right.
They interviewed her for the documentary.
Right. But he then rented a car that next day and then dumped the body.
How can he not think, like, the police are going to know I rented a car? How are they not going to know that there's footage in his place? So, two things. First of all, you think that she'd come back from the bathroom and say, why is my purse on my chair? It was over here.
He was feeding alcohol into her, so she was drunk, tipsy. She wasn't thinking properly. And two, she trusted him. He's sitting there making out with her. He's, in her mind, probably a hot guy, and she thinks they're really vibing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because he's feeding her what he knows she wants.
I thought it was strange when he came back from the bar and he had a tray. He walked out with the drinks on a tray like he was like the waiter. I thought that was, to me, a red flag.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he just was trying to show off. I don't know.
So this guy gets all dressed up very smartly in his vest. He thinks he's going to fool the dumb detective.
And what does the detective do? He asks a question. He gets an answer that is clearly a lie. And he just sits there for minutes, just staring at the guy, just calmly. And what does the guy do?
He says, did you have a question?
Don't you want to ask a question or something? Why? Because he's so uncomfortable with the silence. That's when I knew. That was the tipping point. That's when I knew, holy shit, he just lied. Holy shit, he can't handle the truth. You know, he's freaking out. Like, oh my God, this guy caught me. He's not buying my answer. So what do I say? And that was when everything disintegrated. And that's when he came up with the bullshit excuse that, well, actually, she wanted me to choke her.
Well, he used the rough sex excuse, which now they're trying to criminalize.
Central Park jogger shit.
Blame the victim shit. Right. So what happened was the second lie they caught him in was he said, what time do you wake up? And the guy said, 9 a.m. And then he goes,
10, yeah.
Right. Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure? Oh, maybe 10. You know what I mean? He made him answer it twice. You sure? I'll give you another chance. They had CCTV, closed circuit television of this guy entering his apartment building, or he rented, it was like a hotel, a suite, with a suitcase. Right. And what does he immediately say?
Oh, I still have that suitcase. You can have it. You can have it.
Not once, not twice, 3 times, which to me is a tell. Now he knows he's gotten.
Right. And immediately at that point, I said, oh, he bought a new one. He bought a new suitcase. And that's exactly what happened. He bought a new suitcase and left it in his room so he could say, this is the one I bought that you saw me with. But when he left the hotel room, he had that big suitcase and he had another suitcase on top of it. And it was interesting because when he pulled it into the elevator, you could see the one on top was teetering because the one below was very full and it wasn't actually laying flat. So he was kind of worried about that, but he made sure he pulled it up so that it didn't let people focus on the one below.
She was missing for more than a week before her body was found in the Watakir Ranges in West Auckland. They had the entire date, the entire chronology. I mean, it was just fascinating. And they got this guy. So now he has to admit, okay, we did go back and we were having sex. I took a shower. Somebody took a shower and then it got rough. I'm telling you right now, if I die, no rough sex was involved. Even if it's a car accident, Jim, I'm on the record saying no rough sex.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Just wanted to get that out there.
Good.
So now he says, it's rough sex and she died. And then I decided to put her in a suitcase.
Right. He said he panicked. But like you said, they had the CCTV. He did anything but panic. He calmly walked out. He calmly looked up at the camera in the elevator. He calmly walked into the store. He calmly rolled that thing out of the store. Calmly paid for it. Everything he did was so calm that it disproved what he was saying right from the start.
He also claims that he slept till 10 a.m. on the 2nd of December, 2018, when confronted with photographic evidence of him wheeling a suitcase into his building around 8 a.m. Kemper later revised his story to claim that Millane died by accident. Yeah, well, they didn't write that. It's horrible writing. It makes me look dumb, Jim. Their dumb writing makes me look dumb. What does it say? Died by accidentally? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, So he's in jail. I think he only got minimum of 19 years. That's unbelievable. How is it? Because
for murder.
And he's since
premeditated murder.
And he pulled a gun on another girl like a few days earlier and choked out another one.
And his ex, he kept pulling a knife on her.
But
saying he was going to kill her.
But I just want to point out, Scott Beard, the lead detective inspector in this documentary, is unbelievable.
That's great.
I mean, and even to have Jim Clemente, one of the greatest FBI profiles in the history of the FBI, when was it started? Like 1962, the FBI? Is there any history on that? When was it started?
The FBI?
Yeah.
1907.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But the BAU wasn't started till the 70s, 1970s.
And what really bothers me as much as the death is that they blame the victim. The rough sex bullshit.
Oh, that is so
infuriates
me. And then at the end, they go through the stats and they said that defense has been used 60 times, and 45% of those times, it's resulted in acquittal. That's just bullshit. And I bet you that's just guys who said, that. Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think that many people are into rough sex. This source says jailed for a minimum of 17 years. So the source that can't spell correctly has poor grammar said 19 years. But what I'll tell you, and
what will you tell me?
Jim Clemente, I'll tell you this. I suggest everybody watch this documentary for one reason. I've never seen a true crime documentary like this where there was so much silence. There are chunks of like a minute of CCTV footage where there's no audio, where there's nobody speaking over it, and you're just watching two people walk down the street, and you're making your own conclusions of body language. Like at the beginning of the date, I didn't think that she was into him at all. I go, this isn't going well at all. That's why she got killed. Next thing you know, they're making out.
Did you notice that right before they met, he was walking onto the plaza where she was waiting?
Yes, he turned around.
He turns around. I don't know if he zipped up his fly or whatever, but he turned around and then turned back around and walked up to her. Hey.
Yeah, almost like he wasn't going to do it.
I don't know. It was weird.
They have so much footage of this night, of this date, that in the middle of the documentary, I had to pause it in Google to see if this was like a mockumentary or if it was an
really?
actual. Yeah, I thought it was like a Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
I couldn't believe how much of it was on footage. It absolutely blew my mind. The next documentary we're going to discuss with Jim Clemente.
Is there another?
There is another.
Wow, and this is just an unending stream of documentaries with Orny Adams.
Almost done with our 18 pages here. The Rev.
The Rev.
The Rev. The Reverend Amir Owen, or AKA the perverted priest, the tabloids dubbed him, was a Welsh Presbyterian minister convicted in 1985 of mutilating corpses. He had confessed to cutting off the penises of 3 men laid out in the chapel of his town.
These were dead bodies.
Dead bodies. The aha moment of his arrest, dramatized by a documentary, The Rev, is right out of vintage detective novel D.C. Gwynne Roberts, blah, 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 blah. What happened was, he was sending creepy letters to people.
Yeah, in his parish,
threatening to kill people's kids. There were a bunch of mutilations of sheep, and he wrote letters about that. And somebody recognized his handwriting from a Bible in church. He had this old T, which is the way old Welsh men did it. Like he was born in 1920 or something like that. And they got him on that. They go to serve a search warrant. And just to arrest him. They didn't even have a search warrant. And they're like, hey, can we look around a little bit? And this idiot.
They were going to serve a search warrant.
No, they were going to
on the threatening letter.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all they knew about.
Yeah, they were going to, and they got him on that. They knew that. And I was going through something. There's, bad Amir and good Amir and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they're like, hey, mind if we look around? At which point, when you got child pornography, gay pornography, which I guess was banned at that time in that area, and sadomasochist books, and 3 pictures of penises that he had severed off.
Severed penises.
Yeah, I call them overly circumcised. I call it taking a look. Listen, this guy, he's not a Jew. My people know how to circumcise. This guy took it too far, and you do it to the people when they're alive.
Wow.
So he would pump the penises with boiling water to try and get them to stand erect.
Do we really have to talk about this?
Well, come on. I mean, this is what's going on in the world. I thought we'd end on a funny,
hysterical
story. Yeah.
Hysterical.
Here's what makes this interesting. The guy only serves a year. They didn't know what to serve him for.
They didn't have laws against chopping off penises from dead people, mutating bodies. Come on.
According to my source, they didn't.
What about threatening letters? I mean, come on.
They didn't know what to charge him with because it was because it was not an actual offense cutting off body parts and using them on yourself. Use them on himself. I forgot. That's why I wanted them erect. I don't think boiling water. Jim, how would you
I don't even want to think of it. I'm not going to. What are you talking about?
How would you get a severed penis erect?
I don't have any idea. Why would you want to?
Maybe like super glue in there, like in Botox. You got a Botox, boiling water. There was no legal precedent. And the question came up, who owns a dead body?
The person, the family,
Person's
whatever.
Dead. And it has to be, if it's public indecency, it has to be witnessed by at least 2 people.
Great. Now we got to watch this guy do this?
Yeah.
Oh.
He believed, according to Matthew 19:12, that sexual organs stop people from ascending to heaven.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Where in the Bible does it say that they took something from Jesus before he ascended into heaven?
It's not logic. I mean, this guy, what kind of mental illness are we dealing with here? This is necrophilia, right?
Yeah. Well, it's something even more specific. It's really fucked up in this.
Oh.
Really fucked up.
What's with the language, Jim?
I'm sorry, but that is not how things should go.
I just lost all my sponsors. I just like
sorry.
that with this language.
You can bleep it if you want.
Oh, I can't. I don't censor. This is...
You can censor me. I'm giving you permission.
It was a combination of, he was gay. He lived with men. They thought maybe he felt guilty about being gay, and this is how he took it out. I mean, he gave a lot of excuses. He actually got out after a year and went on the I Cut Off a Penis talk show circuit.
Oh. That's so foul.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
But people
put him up there. That's exactly what he wanted. Ugh.
And what it comes down to is you can't trust everybody that is in a place of authority. This is a man of cloth and penis and not to be trusted.
Well, it seems like we're going all the way back to Napoleon now.
Oh yeah, but don't you gotta edit that out. I'll tell you why after. But this guy's clearly mentally ill, right? There's no other way. I mean, do you understand this?
And he's not a criminal genius either.
Do they teach you necrophilia, which, and I'll go over what that comes from. Necrophilia is a term derived from the Greek words, do you know what it is? Philios, attracted to love, and necros, dead body. It involves a sexual attraction to a dead body. Now, we all want it. Oh, I wrote this. This is my joke. This is so bad. I forgot I wrote this because I read this a while ago. Now, we all want to get laid without having to pay for dinner, but this goes too far.
Jeez. All right, I think that's the end of this episode.
I got to censor myself.
I can handle this.
Now, let me tell you why. You're really hot. We're going to end this in a minute. Okay, Jim. I told you it was going to be hot in here.
I know.
But this happened last year. A priest cuts off his own penis during crazed mental break. Last year, a priest in the Czech Republic...
Why couldn't the first guy do that?
Yeah, that would have been the appropriate thing to do. Amputated his own genitals after suffering a psychiatric episode believed to be triggered by a tick-borne encephalitis.
Oh, right.
Yep, he was found unconscious in his home by paramedics and is currently in a coma, ventilating in the hospital. This incident highlights the rising concern over tick-borne diseases. I just got a little more concerned about it.
Yeah, I get it, but I think it should highlight the concern over people chopping penises off.
At least it was his own.
I guess.
Yeah, at least it was his own. I'm going to end on this. Jim Clemente, my guest, I appreciate it, but here's the deal. I got all fired up. I was about to fall asleep last night. I was ready to fall asleep. I turn on TV to relax and come down, which is what most people do.
Okay.
Mountain Dew ad comes on.
All right.
Do the Dew. Are you a fan of Mountain Dew?
No, it's like 100% caffeine and sugar.
The contents are irresponsible, and so is this ad.
What's the ad?
Well, the guy pops out of the freezer, and he says, do the Dew, or whatever he says.
Okay.
First of all, that's scary to me, that the freezer could open and a guy in a beard hands me a Mountain Dew.
He wasn't in a clown suit.
No, he wasn't, but
really
he should have been. And then the girl takes the Dew. Next thing you know, she's whitewater rafting. I don't know how any of this connects. She's whitewater rafting. Cuts to a guy floating down the river, holding hands. He's on his back with an otter. He's holding the otter on the back, all cute. This is irresponsible, Mountain Dew. Otters are vicious animals that are attacking humans.
They are.
We should not be encouraging, Jim, is what I'm saying.
We shouldn't.
Otter to human contact. I've read story after story. I've covered it episode after. I'm sorry to get fired up. But this is something I'm passionate about. Episode after episode of otters attacking humans. Humans just walking, along the water, getting attacked. They're not even interacting with the otters on docks. They jump onto the dock. They attack the humans. It's bad. So I just think Mountain Dew needs to take that ad down immediately.
That would be the responsible thing to do.
Thank you, Jim Clemente. Episode 155, What's Wrong with Orny Adams?
What's his name, Kev?
His name's Orny Adams. Jim Clemente. You can find him on, what is it?
Real Crime Profile?
No, the platform.
Oh, Identify.
Identify.
With an I at the end.
With an I at the end. So fancy. Is there like a little thing over the eye? Anyway, Jim Clemente is a fantastic guest and friend, and
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you taking your time.
Of course, I always like hanging out with you, Orny, and it's always interesting what you come up with, let me tell you. I was not expecting what we just went through.
Which part?
Well, you know, which part?
Police planting evidence?
No, the part about things separating from male bodies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was so traumatic that I gave you the Saran Wrap challenge, which Jim passed in about 45 seconds.
45? That was 50% longer than it actually took.
Now I don't know what to do. I've got 2 things of Saran Wrap now. Now I've got too much Saran Wrap.
I'll take it home just so it's not a trauma for you.
Yes. Thank you to Eric Stoltz for mastering the audio. Thank you to my listeners, my Patreon listeners. Please come see one of my shows, ornyadams.com/tour. And if you want to email me, they can just email me directly.
Why not?
And I read them. What's wrong at ornyadams.com.
That's a lot of email.
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah.
Let's go wrap some shit in Saran Wrap. Thanks, Jim.
All right. That was great. That was a great episode.
It's great.